Greetings, exiles. It's time for a new journey. Let's see what the developers have prepared for us in the third edict. I begin my journey with fragmentation rounds and explosive grenades. A very powerful combination of skills to start with. Next, I added flash grenades, and I had no problems in the first act. A very good experience. Then I added incendiary shot to activate my gas grenades. And as soon as I had the opportunity, I started using explosive shot. After that, the campaign became a joke. I understand that it's not very original, but I wanted something comfortable and not to suffer in the campaign. For my first Ascendancy, I chose Culling Strike, because it gives me access to Decimating Strike for my second Ascendancy. Culling Strike plus Decimating Strike is a very powerful combination for the campaign. Holy craft! My new crossbow. Very nice. Here's the new act. I hope it will be fun. Oh yes. The new act is really cool. Although, in my opinion, it's a bit long, but anyway. Good job, GGG. Nice hat. It will come in handy. The new auction house is a real game changer. I just threw some trash into the stash for one exalted orb and was able to get some currency for upgrades. Without this feature, I definitely wouldn't have made 9 trades. Nice and easy. New armor. Now let's try a new craft. It's probably not the best idea, but I want to try it. Not bad. I like it. Last purchase. Culling Strike Threshold. Let's see how it turns out. Let's finish with the last boss and move on to the endgame. Overall, the build feels pretty good, but I need my explosions. So I need to level up my character a bit, find better gear, and finish the third trial for explosions as quickly as possible. Another crazy craft. I really like this abyss. It's a lot of fun. Cool Tink. 6 links. I need it. And another one. No way. Well, I'll sell this one and buy myself a new crossbow. Big DPS boost. Double Nameless Seer. This could be interesting. Double Seer is a double scam. Classic. I want to try this helmet. I think that scaling Culling Strike is a pretty interesting idea. And maybe something playable will come out of it. I also need a new amulet. Let's finish it. Overall, not bad. Cool amulet. As for the new Abyss mechanic, I really like it, and it's much better than the stupid wisps in the last league. This mechanic is really rewarding. Okay, very often rewarding. Although Abyss kills very quickly and suddenly, it would be nice if the developers tweaked this mechanic. It also kills FPS, and you can immediately see that it hasn't been optimized. Although game performance in this league is very poor overall. And what's in this vault? Scam. I knew it. Okay, let's try to kill the first bosses and get more skill points for the Atlas tree. Nice and easy. And another one. The boss died from a cringe. But for this fight, you need more than 0% chaos resistance. Simulacrum in this game is no joke, and you need something serious for it. Well, I figured out the first bosses somehow. Now I can go to the third trial. No problem. Finally, my beloved explosions. It's nice to come back to the game and know that there's a little currency waiting for you here. I love this auction house. This is my current gear. Nothing special. Really. I bought some of it, found some on the ground, and crafted others. And this is my skill tree. Let's talk about my build in more detail. I have two main skills, explosive grenades and explosive shot. You may have seen this combination in other Ascendancy builds, but there's nothing surprising here. When 80% of the skills in the game feel mediocre, our choices are very limited, especially at the beginning of the league. Anyway, I use an explosive shot for clearing, and with our explosions, the build feels very good and smooth. If I encounter a rare monster, I use explosive grenades, activate them with an explosive shot, and everything dies instantly. I also use grenades to kill bosses. You can see other skills on my skill bar, but honestly, in 99% of cases, I only use these two. I also have Culling Strike and Decimating Strike. Decimating Strike removes part of the HP before hitting, after which Culling Strike can be used. The Culling Strike threshold is different for different monsters. But the main feature of this build is that I increased this threshold to the maximum. 179% increased the Culling Strike threshold for normal and magic monsters. And 219% increased the Culling Strike threshold for rare and unique monsters. And at the beginning of the league, when we don't have crazy gear, it feels very good. Very simple gameplay with solid damage. The first Divine Orb. Always a special moment in every of my journey. No way. Very big tink. This support gem is worth 14 Divine Orbs. But I'm not going to sell it because I can use it in my build and it's a very serious damage increase. Let's finish our Atlas. Cool. And some crafting sessions. Unexpectedly, I crafted a good ring. Of course, I would like more life, but let's not be greedy, the ring is already very good. Now it's time for a new crossbow. You've probably already seen how to make a good crossbow for this build because there are already many guides on YouTube. First, we need a siege crossbow with increased physical damage. This is the most difficult stage. But I can give you one piece of advice. Just be lucky and you'll get it done quickly. Next, we use the greater essence of abrasion. Now we need these omens. Maybe we need this omen, but I'm not sure. Just in case. Cool. I fill the suffixes and use these essences. That's it. The cool gun is ready. Hell yeah, brother. Let's test it. Overall, not bad. But we have two problems. The first is survivability in boss fights and mana. So for this boss fight, I'm using a sorcery ward. And honestly, it helped me. Because without it, I would be dead. Nice shield. Oh no! Look how they massacred my boy. Sag. Anyway, first, let's quickly fix the mana problem and then go to the last trial. To start with, I'll add more blue support gems and get more mana. I'll also change the anoint on my amulet. It may seem strange because the damage numbers are going down, but that's not important to me. The main thing is that the build feels good, and when you're always short on mana, it's not much fun. This is much better because I can use all 4 charges of explosive grenades and I have mana for other skills. Nice. Now it's time for the final test. Movement speed. No more minor afflictions. So it's basically a win, and the main thing is not to make a mistake in the battle with the final boss. No problem. Now I have all the Ascendancy points and I can take the Sorcery Ward. With Sorcery Ward, I need better body armor, so let's craft it. I bought this base for a few Exalted Orbs. Very cheap, by the way. Essence for more resistance. Abyss crafting materials. A quick prayer. Not a bad option. Lots of armor and evasion. And Exalted Orb Slam. Everything as Chris taught us. Life. Just what I need. Well, I think I've got some pretty solid armor. A good upgrade. Now I need these unique gloves so that I can free up Ascendancy points and take more Sorcery Ward. Almost 3,000 additional HP against elemental damage. Not bad. Of course, I lost a lot of evasion. But with this node, my dodge chance is almost 30%, which isn't too bad overall. I'm also thinking about Lightning Coil. In theory, it's a good addition to the build because our Sorcery Ward will work against physical damage, at least partially. And physical damage is a serious problem if you don't have a lot of evasion. But the main problem is that I'll lose a lot of armor, evasion, and Sorcery Ward. So I'm not sure about this replacement. But if we slightly change the skill tree and equipment, we can use this unique armor and increase our survivability. But for now, I've decided to leave everything as it is. While you're looking at the gameplay, let's talk about the new league in patch 0.3. To be honest, I didn't expect anything good from the new league, but the developers pleasantly surprised me. 0.3 is a step in the right direction. And Abyss is a very good addition to the game, unlike the Wisps in 0.2, which are mostly useless mechanics. And now there are only 2 big negative points in the game for me. The first is performance. The optimization in the game is terrible, and that's putting it mildly. Although maybe I just need to buy one of those cool PCs that popular streamers use. Forge Star or Star Citizen or something like that, I don't remember. And this problem will go away. Map layouts are the second problem for me. In 0.3, the maps got worse because the developers added Act 4, and the level design there is very controversial. As a result, the endgame now has even more maps with poor layouts or just huge maps where you can't even see the markers for all rare monsters on the map. And I think the problem here is not so much the maps as the endgame itself. Let me try to explain what I mean. I had a situation where I was only interested in Breach and Expedition, and that was my main goal. I would enter the map, do Breach and Expedition, and that was all I needed, and I wanted to move on to the next map. But I couldn't do that because I had to run through the entire huge map to kill the last rare monster hiding at the very end. Because if I don't kill all the rare monsters, the map is considered unfinished, which means I can't move on to the next map. Or the opposite situation, when the breach is at the end of the map and I have to run through the whole thing to get the mechanics I need and realize that I missed a rare monster somewhere and that I need to find a checkpoint to go back. And that's really tiring. It seems to me that the endgame in PoE2 lacks freedom. Those of you who have played the Path of Exile 1 know that you can play however you like. If you like fast maps, boss rushes for you. If you like large maps with lots of mechanics, that's no problem either. But in PoE2, none of that is there. The developers came up with a way to play their game and decided that it was the only right way, so all players have to do what seems like the right gameplay. But anyway, let's see what happens in the next patch, where they promise to rework the gameplay. And I hope there will be more freedom there. And for now I have fun in this game. Sounds like a hot take or insanity, perhaps. But it is what it is. A new boss. Nice fight. Nice rewards. Fair enough. Let's try again. What is this? I didn't notice this option in the first battle. Very interesting. GGG, what's going on here? This is madness. Of course, I understand that all these boss mechanics are a lot of fun, but I'm just going to kill him. Fast kill if you have no skill. Tink. No way. What is this? Very interesting, but it takes a lot of time to figure it out, so I'll leave it for later. New jewel. And more bosses. I won't bore you with my yapping anymore because my journey has come to an end. In theory, there are several good and expensive upgrades I could make, but most likely there won't be a second part because I'm not sure it would be anything interesting. Boring grind without variability for the headhunter and expensive jewels. Moreover, the current build can be considered complete because it feels and plays great. But there may be a new build, I have some ideas. But I won't promise anything. In any case, thank you all for watching and commenting. I appreciate it. Also, I would be very grateful for your likes and subscriptions. Bye everyone, and see you in the new video.